Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, except for the winner of the Best of the Super Juniors 33. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Say hello, Mr. Andy.
Hey, Luke. I'm coming to you from the back rooms. That's where my apartment is located, just to let everybody know. So if you see a giant pirate walking around the background, don't worry, it's just me.
Yeah, that Backrooms movie looks pretty good, but I'm going to the movies for the first time in ages this week. What am I seeing? Backrooms? No. He-Man.
Hey, I saw He-Man yesterday, Luke.
I don't need it to blow my mind. I just want it to be dumb cheese. And if it's dumb cheese with lots of He-Man shit, I'm happy.
Do you remember that movie Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves that came out
a while
ago? It was great. It's very similar to that. I don't know if it's better, but it's very similar to that.
Then I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect anything from that movie, and I was just like, wow, that's really good. Why aren't they making 10 of these? But yes, I am stalling a little bit, Mr. Andy, because we are talking about the second half of the Best of the Super Juniors 33. But before that, there are ways that people can contact or interact with us and tell me what a stupid, wrong idiot I will be for all the things I say in this episode, I guess. We are on the Blue Sky. I am LS-J. Mr. Guy is at Drifts with Tweets. Collectively, we are at neveropenpod.bluesky.social. If you want to send us a written or voice email, you can do that too. neveropenpod@gmail.com. If you've got any of that Sasha Banks money, kick it our way. We have a Teespring store where you can buy merch that'll make you look never as fuck. And also, if you want to see me absolutely crush this intro, oh my god! And I have to always say that. No, sometimes I say, if you want to see me ruin this intro, yeah, okay, yeah. There's balance. There's balance in the podcast force. You can watch me do all this, and Mr. Guy as well. We are on the YouTubes. Never Open Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, you get to see me and my Tony Soprano hanging out in the back rooms today. So if you've got gray
sweatpants and flip flops on, you're Carl.
I definitely got I definitely have flip flops on, but not wearing sweatpants. Too hot for that shit out here. Luke, the action was hot in the Best of Super Juniors 33. We watched it. Listen, I'm not down on New Japan. I like New Japan, and I really enjoyed watching these shows. But I got to tell you, I think this is probably the least exciting, or maybe my least favorite Best of Super Juniors we've ever covered. I felt zero sense of urgency at any point. Like, usually I'm kind of rooting for somebody and I'm kind of fired up. I will take that back. Akira, a couple Akira matches. I was like, dude, he better fucking win this, or I don't even know, like that kind of thing. And so there's a couple Akira matches like that. There was a couple Master Wato matches that I kind of got into as far as I cared who won. But other than that, didn't really care who won at any point ever. And so, I'm not always that way, but sometimes I am. And when I say I don't care, I wasn't even like, I don't know. I was less invested this year than I've ever been. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Last episode, you were not even like in the mood. And I guess this carries over to this episode. You were not even in the mood to speculate who is possible to win. And I did throw out, at least at one point in that episode, are we just going to rip this Band-Aid off? Is that what we're doing?
I mean,
surely I need to start saying other things that I really, really, really want to happen so that can manifest instead. Instead, I manifested this.
Yes, and what we say on this podcast happens. So every time. Mm-hmm.
Well, we did get Wato at the Dome. It just ended in 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. It just still breaks my heart. So, yes, we are going to pretty much talk about the Best of the Super Juniors 33, the same style as we did last episode. So we're going to go from the second half and or just in total talk about each wrestler, what we thought, how they went, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll get to the finals and then the final and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to thank Mr. Guy for being up early. It always helps when I'm watching wrestling with a wrestling fan, in this case, my awesome podcast bro. And I also had my my Yo support animal. It was Wilma was curled up next to me watching the wrestling. So I just want to thank you both.
Wilma's a dog, by the way, for those listening.
It's my dog. Yeah.
And Wilma has this look that she gives, and it is, what? That's the look. What? All the time. So Wilma, very skeptical of wrestling, very skeptical of you, very skeptical of everything in general. Just kind of like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, this isn't food related, so I'm not interested.
Right. Yeah. What are we even doing? Where's the food? That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, so I guess we'll start with the A block if you like, Mr. Guy.
Sure. Taguchi. Right. He ended with 8 points.
That is pretty good for Taguchi, considering like he usually ends the tournament with 6 points or 4 points. It's either in that kind of realm, so that's not bad. He beat Wato surprisingly, which is right near the end, and that's kind of
lame.
That was really bugged me, but he made the finals anyway. That's fine. Valente Jr. because he had to have his leg drained. Oh my god. Daikinic, of course, and he beat Jun Kasai in a really fun kind of match.
That was fun, yeah.
I think Taguchi was the only one who didn't go full on with the hardcore stuff like a lot of other wrestlers in the block did. He went more for like, no, let's make this goofy fun. Yeah, there's going to be some hardcore spots in it, but let's go for the silly fun factor instead. And I think that was, I think that's what made that one of my, I think I like Jun Kasai when I haven't seen him for a while. No offense to him, he's great. But that's how I feel about hardcore matches in general. Does that make sense? Like, I like him every now and again, but
not every night. And yeah. I think he works in general better in smaller doses, where he's not expected to go, hard every night like that. But he was fine. It was great to see the crowd's reactions to him. Like, they were fired up for him. And I'm like, okay, I like that. I liked Taguchi's tournament quite a bit. I thought he did great. And I think this year, his match quality was better than it normally is. And I don't know. I like Taguchi. I think he's a good wrestler. And he's like, think about it. I hate to compare him to someone, but he is in many ways the Yujiro of the junior division. But he would never stoop to wearing plastic jorts or refusing to wrestle properly. You know what I mean? Taguchi is always going to wrestle properly. And so, he is in that kind of spot as he's not a dad, but, he's on his way to being a dad. So, he did his job and he did some jobs, but he won a lot more matches than I thought he would this year.
Exactly. Two of them are two of his wins, though. One of them was Daikina Guy, because everyone's going to beat him, and the other one was Valiente, who he fucked his leg up.
Died, and it was fine the next night.
Yeah, but oh man, but leg drains and all that, and I'm like, I don't need to hear about that. He makes it sound like he's a bit of a badass for coming back after that. I'm like, it's cool, but don't need to know that leg drainage.
It probably swelled up because he flew in a plane. That's what happens,
that's
right? So maybe do that. When you land, have a little draining station there at the airport for guys with knee injuries.
I usually need the draining station after a few cups of coffee.
Yeah. Well, this is a different draining station.
Okay.
It's for pus. So
right. Mm-hmm. Right. And suddenly I have a fear of flying. At 12 points, and all right, I'm gonna say like Vegeta maybe just edges him out just a teeny tiny little bit, and maybe a big part of that is also maybe the look and the fact that he doesn't hang out with nerds, Mr. Vegeta. But a dude who was an absolute fucking beast this tournament. Don't let the adorable face fool you. even his last year, where he's been kind of nerd city adorableness, like to the point where even you and I were just like, yeah, we're getting back off at the station. We're getting off the Watto train because like they're not doing anything with him, and he's a dork now. Like we're done. This this did a lot to make me remember just what a fucking absolute boss this guy can be.
Yeah, he had a great tournament. I really liked his match versus Akira. That was one that I was into. I really liked his match versus Daiki Nagai. He gave Daiki Nagai a lot, only not as much as Fujita, but he gave him a lot. Nick Wayne was the guy that he wrestled. I really liked his match versus Taguchi, except I was bummed out that Watto lost. Watto should win that. He used to tag with him. He knows the tricks. What do you mean he didn't win? But I also think
it would be
because this is the block that Doki was supposed to be in. I think a lot of these point totals were supposed to be a little different. You know what I mean? I think Taguchi won a few matches he wasn't normally originally going to win, right? Like maybe there's a couple things that got switched up because of that. And maybe nothing to do with Master Watto, but maybe he had to, lose to Taguchi to make the math work,
Yeah, that's true. But it is a little weird. Watto losing to Taguchi, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite from our chat the other night, would be like Kosei Fujita losing to Robbie Eagles, I guess, but there's the Aussie factor there, so I was quite behind. But 12 points, though, for Master Watto, and he's still in the final, so, it all kind of worked out. He's one of the standouts for me in the tournament, and I just, he's just every time, every match. And the annoying thing to me was, and it took them till nearly towards the end for them to shut the fuck up about it, is I don't like it when the commentary calls Watto matches, because you'd think like by the end of the tournament, he didn't make the finals and almost win the block on 12 points. By listening to the commentary, you'd think he'd had 2 points and was a gigantic fucking loser and too nice for his own good. So knock it off. Put this poor adorable guy over. He needs to get over. What are we doing here, New Japan? Come on. It's way to the Grandmaster. At some point, he's got to be a Grandmaster. Like,
I mean, isn't it enough that he's trying to get there? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's fucking around. It's not like he's not trying. I didn't listen to English commentary because I would have just started yelling at the TV. So,
can New Japan want him to get there though?
I mean, that would be nice, right? But like, I don't know. I'm not. I much prefer the Japanese commentary, as we all know. But Luke Valiente Jr. came from the long, faraway land of Mexico to compete in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I thought that usually when they send a guy from CMLL, they get booked strong. But Valiente Jr. got booked pretty weak, and he didn't really have a good match until like halfway through the tournament, until he wrestled like Robbie X or something, and then it was like, all right, now we're talking, Was not impressed by Valiente Jr. In general, not impressed with luchadors. So that is my issue, and maybe not everyone else's issue, maybe not Valiente's issue. Maybe it's mine, but yeah, I don't know. I don't care about this guy.
He's a young luchador as well, apparently. I can't always tell because, they're wearing the masks and you can't really see. And, I would also like to add that if he didn't need his leg drained, he would have failed to have made an impression on me in any way, shape, or form. And I feel bad saying that. I think we remember saying that about Titan at one point, and I know you're not a massive Titan fan. It's fair. But remember that year he came back and went like, really? Oh, thanks for going to WWE, Dragon Lee. Now we got this guy. And he was absolutely incredible. I know you don't like him, and I don't
trust him. I don't trust him. Any man who won't show his face in public, I don't trust him.
That's right. Well, I'm happy just to go straight to T10 then. Sorry, Valiente. No, I'm not. We're going to T10, who ended on 10 points. Now, they always make him look strong. and he had the strong look of, I'm going to win most of my matches at the start, and then go on a losing streak, I guess. I would rather a mix of wins and losses, that way there's a bit more suspense about it. Like I see a guy who's obviously not going to win Best of Super Juniors, no offense, but like T10's not. It's very rare that a non-Japanese wrestler is going to win one of the round robin tournaments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And T10's not around all year round, so I don't think this is never going to happen.
They don't trust him either. They know
that's
better.
Right. But he wins 5 matches in a row, and that to me says, okay, he's going to lose most of the next batch of matches, and he did. He really did, which made him more entertaining for you in the second half, I'm going to guess.
He had a couple awesome matches. Yeah. And like there was one in particular, and I'm sorry, I don't fucking remember which one it was, and I didn't write it down. But it was killer. It was like I think it might have been Jun Kasai, and he was going fucking hard as fuck, and he did the worst like bump out of the ring, idiotic clothesline thing I've ever seen. He landed right on his tailbone, and you could tell it hurt like a bitch, and he had to get right up and act like it was no big deal. The worst move in wrestling. And I mean, he's going to break his spine doing that. Why does he do that? I will never get it. And the crowd's reaction every time is funny because they go, oh, here he goes. Oh, it's much like when Hanma goes for the Kokeshi and doesn't get it. It's very similar to that. Although in Teton's mind and in kayfabe, it's a successful move.
I think about with luchadors is most luchadors have quite a few high-flying moves in their arsenal, and some of them can be bad if they mess them up, right? However, T10 is the only luchador I have ever watched that has a lame move that could absolutely kill him. I would like, if I'm a wrestler and I get injured doing a move, I want to be injured doing a fucking tornado 450 splash or something, something insane. Not a really bad drive-by, I slip out of the ring. It looks like I slipped out and landed on my butt.
Yeah, but you're talking about botching, getting injured on accident. He's botching on purpose. That's part of the move, and I don't understand it. I'll never get it, and we'll never find out because Teton will never tell us.
No. We'll also never ask him either.
No, he's also the Bible verse thing. Enough with the Bible verse thing. He speaks in Bible verses. Get out of here. What about Templario? Templario is probably like, fuck, steal my gimmick, man. I got a giant cross on me, and you're talking in Bible like talk. Fuck you, man.
I'm waiting for the promo now when Templario is like, Templario 316 says, I just whipped your ass.
Yes. El Culo, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's asshole. But that's like asshole. That's not like you're an asshole. Although they do that, we both watched a match this week, and it was just so incredible that I had to share it with you and pressure you into watching it. And then I even like asked you to watch it after you'd already watched it. And it was, Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano, mask versus mask. And that was incredible. That match was absolutely amazing. And I don't even know where I was going with that other than say that was the best, like one of the best Mexican wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life. And the crowd was so insane for it.
That is a match where I didn't know it was Gable until after the end. So,
for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing! Wow.
It's been so long since I've seen Chad Gable wrestle that his body type has kind of left my brain. No offense to him, but I don't watch WWE stuff, so it's been a while. Unless like you're Kevin Owens, where hey, I've got to go too, so it's okay. But I probably won't always pick it straight away. So I kind of marked out there. Like I'd already had a smile on my face watching it. And that is a match where I didn't know the wrestlers, but the story they told, the crowd, everything, all added to it. And it's funny too because like I knew the story and everything that went into the final of the Best of Super Juniors, and I had the opposite reaction.
Well, the reason I brought it up was because of the word culo and the fact that the crowd screams culero at all the bad guys, right? And maybe I'm wrong about this, but in the past, when I've heard people use that term, like in the kitchen, it's a derogatory term that's homophobic, is what it is. And I can't believe that they just let people scream that on TV and it's no big deal. It's like, okay, maybe it doesn't mean that, but the way it was used, that I've seen it used is this is a great way to explain it. So a kitchen is a cocina, right? A cocinero is someone who works in the kitchen. A culo is an asshole. A culero is someone who works in the asshole, right?
Okay. No, yeah. Oh, you're bad because you're gay. In other words, all right. Yeah. No,
I can't believe that they just like and like the the announcers are like, oh, they don't like that guy. And it's like, well, but anyway, it's just it's also a very it's a cultural thing in Mexico too, which is but when speaking of that kind of thing though, when Pimpinella was revealed to be the masked like person in the match, I shit my pants. I couldn't believe it. And the Mexican announcers are like, El Pipi! El Pipi! They just keep screaming and they're telling us. I love the Mexican announcers because they tell you what's happening and they count everything. If someone hits a chop, they go, uno chop! And then the guy hits another, dos chops! And they're freaking out and yelling about that. And then when Pimpy was standing there, they'd be like, the camera would go from El Genero, whatever, Americano to Pimpy, and the camera goes, they go, Pimpy! He's there! Pimpy is right there! That was awesome. I love that.
I just have to imagine that wrestling's so huge in Mexico that blind people love it as well.
Did you see that? Yes!
And their referee and the commentators aren't just being animated for us; they're being animated so the people who have sight impairments.
Well, there was a blind guy in the crowd.
Yeah,
there was a blind guy in the crowd, and evil original Americano. He went over and fucked with him, and then El Grande Americano, the real one, he comes over and saves the day. There was all kinds of spots like that. They both like bled, and that was a righteous match. It had everything, everything.
One of them tried to walk an old lady into the middle of the street during a red light.
Also, I just love how so El Grande Americano original is Chad Gable, and he's a heel. And he used to just how that character came around is he hated luchadors, and he came to Mexico to learn about luchadors so he could kill them all, basically, right? And so the opposite, Ludwig, the real El Grande Americano, he's like of the people. His theme song is fucking Cielito Lino or whatever it's called, that song, Cantar no Llore. It's like if you can't cry while you're singing, it's like it's about the Mexican heart, it's amazing. And he comes out dressed like a rancher. He's got fucking it was mariachis in white, and I remember that. I was like, Blanco mariachi, just screaming. Oh man, that was like. If you haven't watched that, if you're out there, that is legit awesome. And everything about it's awesome. And the fact that, after it, he gives that speech about a Mexican can be born anywhere, it's amazing. And the crowd's like, yeah, we are Mexican. It's fucking cool. Teton is also Mexican.
Yes, that is true. Dude, I kind of wish I was in that room with you right now. I'd give you a hug and a fist bump because I wasn't sure if you'd come at me a lot with just chill, Luke. It's wrestling. It's like we'll be fine. There's a tiny little bit of that, but also there's this element of, man, I'm really not excited for the Best of Super Junior final, and I would rather talk about this luchador match. And I'm so fucking happy I watched every second of that awesome match because now I can talk to you about it. thank you for feeling some of my pain, and we'll get there. Before we get to any form of pain, how about we go to a dude who pretty much made himself in this tournament? It's Robbie X, who finishes on 10 points. I don't think it would have mattered what his fucking score was this whole tournament. He could have had 2. He could have won the block. He was never going to win the tournament. But this dude, I think we've both liked him for quite a while. But this time, like as I said last episode, he didn't need to prep. He had time to prep and prepare himself and all that kind of stuff for a grueling tournament. Whereas last year, last minute replacement that Ishimori said, "Hey, come on down, come and do the tournament." And yeah, that's the difference. He was good last year, but he was great this year. Every match, every single time, and yeah, I was getting to the point where I was getting a little kind of gutted when he lost, because I really wanted to see him go even further. Kind of amazing to me that one of his losses, I think, was against Valiente Jr. So
yeah,
that was still a great match too.
That match was awesome. That was like
one of his best matches.
Valiente matches for sure.
Yeah.
Other than the Taguchi match, that was my favorite because I didn't have to watch it because it was over right away. Robbie X was a champion this year already too.
Yeah.
So like they like him and they're gonna do more shit with him. And I don't know how old he is. I hope he's young. You know what I mean? Because they're starting to really put over these British guys. Obviously Newman's the fucking champion. Robbie X won a title this year, and now he's getting 10 points in the fucking Best of Super Juniors. Tied with Nick Wah, which is bullshit. But that's where we're at. We got to kiss everybody's ass, I guess. But I liked Robbie X. I think big foot forward this year, and and he also fucked with people's legs too at times, which we haven't really done a leg fuckery rating. I think that's more B block. Yeah, B block's more the leg fuck block this year.
This block has more of an element of high flying craziness, I guess, than the other block does. Yeah, you're right.
Flippy do's, flippy don'ts, with or without the swizzle stick.
So we get to the guy who, he's got an it factor, and you might want to, capitalize on it post fucking haste. Otherwise, he might turn into Wato 2.0 and be lost in the shuffle. Please don't lose this guy in the shuffle, Mr. New Japan. 12 points. He, along with Wato, topped the block. Or I know Akira also has 12 points, but tie breaks and all that kind of stuff. So Kosei Fujita, the guy's a star. He's got it. He's got the it factor. He's the next Hiromu if they want him to be. Every loss, even though he doesn't feel like he's been around for 10 years or anything like that, every loss he has feels like a loss that you'd watch Hiromu have. Rare, even though it's not as rare for, if you know what I mean? Really had to work for that. He's really good at that. So, he's an elevator. He, for most wrestlers, we'll get to that later, but yeah, he's an elevator that makes pretty much everything he touches better. And you can teach people how to wrestle, but I'm not sure you can teach quite that. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
He's like 5'3", and you can't teach that. So, I know. One thing I wish he would quit teaching or touching, excuse me, is people's heads with his head. Mm-hmm. I don't like the headbutts. I don't like it. He needs to knock it off because the shoot headbutts. I wrote this to you in a message, but it is true. If doing headbutts, like shoot headbutts, made a cool noise like a chair shot, okay, I at least understand the appeal of it. When it doesn't make a noise, it just kind of makes a thud. If you hit it really hard and it's just gross and it's not even like a cool noise, then what is the fucking point? It's just stupid. It doesn't make you look tough. It makes you look like an idiot, and it makes you look like someone who doesn't care about your opponent's safety or your own, and that's fucking stupid to me. So I don't like that. I
prefer the headbutts that you see a lot in New Japan now of the the kind of Hanare Shingo style, where they're more to the upper body kind of shoulder area.
The Goto headbutt, sure, that's fine.
Those.
You know,
because it looks like it could have hit the jaw or something like that, and it didn't. But it looks cool, but it doesn't fucking kill the other person or yourself. No, you're absolutely right. I
right,
agree.
and it makes a cool noise. You know, so it's
he has a bit of that piss and vinegar, I'm young and invincible kind of vibe, because I remember that tire spot he did with Clark Connors last year. You and I were like, that's really cool. Never do it again.
Yeah, you're right. That was fucking crazy. So yes, he is willing to do whatever. He did the blood with Jun Kasai. I really like Vegeta. I have a question. I'm opening up the Fantasy Dream book, and it's open in my hands here, right here. And there's a blank page. It's not all blank. At the top, it says Fujita, Kosei Fujita specifically. And I was wondering if I should fill this page with Kosei Fujita one day winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Luke, your thoughts?
I can see it. Maybe he's only 23. I'd say maybe in about 10 years' time he might go up to heavies. I think he's got to. Oh, it depends on how long it'll take him to put on the beef. Because he's a strong looking man, but he doesn't like. Look, you've got Iwa in that group, and he looks like, he's got.
He's taller, yes.
And that's not necessarily height. That. No, you can't teach height. You can teach someone to get on a rack and use the rack on them, but you can't teach them to, grow more. But yeah, I could see him in the heavyweight division. I
want to see that very much. I think he would be fantastic, and I think that he would be much like Naito. I think he would be a character like Naito as a heavyweight, and I would like to see that. I think that's what his future is. So he doesn't have to win Best of Super Juniors every year, Luke. He just has to do really well and make everybody else look good and get to the finals and maybe not win at all. What did you think of Akira's tournament, Luke? He got 12 points. He beat the fuck out of everybody. He was a sneaky son of a bitch. And his piece of shit sidekick, Zane J, is a motherfucker, and I love them both. What'd you think of Akira? Is his name?
A gentleman in B block needs Zane J, because otherwise he's boring. Akira doesn't need Zane J, but Zane J accentuates. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's even more magic. You know what I mean? I thought Akira was awesome, and I thought, I'm not so disappointed to complain about Wato and Vegeta being in the finals, but maybe, Akira's been there quite a bit. He's in most tours, doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I might have put that guy in the finals. If you're not going to put him in the Despy block, come on, man. Yeah, 12 points is awesome. He's the only guy who reached 12 other than the two winners. So they booked him strong, which is what I love. I got to see him kick all the fucking ass. There's not many people who beat him. Wato and Vegeta are two that beat him, and thus, the tie breaks, which is kind of heartbreaking there. So he's going to be all. I want to beat the shit out of those two at some point in the near future, which is really cool. I think he's awesome. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in the company. So just like, he doesn't wrestle. He doesn't. The way he moves and acts, like you'd think he's 7 foot tall. Like, he's got a Scrappy Doo-ness, except unlike Scrappy Doo, he's awesome. He's what's that dog comment about the size of the bark in the dog or something like that? That guy. That's Akira.
Roman Reigns rules the yard. He's the big dog. That's the saying.
Yeah, no, fuck Roman Reigns. I like you more than him.
Dog.
So
he's the big dog.
Yeah. No,
I thought Akira did great. I liked there were some matches of his that I was biting my fingernails. I'm telling you, I think of all the wrestlers, he was the one I was the most invested in winning. And specifically, he had to beat Nick Wayne. I was like, dude, he cannot lose the fucking Nick Wayne. And he beat Nick Wayne. I was surprised he beat Jun Kasai, but I was very happy to see that. And he had to beat Teton. I was like, that match, I was like, I'm flying over there if he doesn't beat Teton. it's over for
He
Teton.
made
Like,
Teton tap the fuck out as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
that was
Teton tried a few too many times to get his kind of Muda locks on, and he just turned that into his like his Grand Cobra kind of submission, and there was a quick tap from Teton. I was like, oh my god, yes,
yeah,
super
man,
fast. It's like, yeah, that's the kind of submission hold you want. The one where, nah, it's over. I'm in it. It's done. And look, I don't mind the suspense of a submission hold. They can add to a drama of a match, but at some point, when you watch a Zack Sabre Jr. match, at some point you want him to put someone in a hold where they're just like, no, now, get it off me, get him off me right now. It's too much. So yeah, that's what I like about that hold. I like he apart from Jun Kasai, did he bleed the most in this whole tournament? Because he bled against Vegeta in the opening match of the tournament. And then he was willing to go places with Jun Kasai, and I absolutely loved it. I don't know if it was a real life thing or just a hesitancy in his character to go to those places, but that's all unlocked for Francesco Akira now. He's willing to go there, and
he's not afraid anymore.
That's right.
He would yell after that match. Oh man. Daiki Nakai got 0 points, Luke. He did the same thing on every match, and it was awesome every time. And the crowd wanted to see him win no matter who he was wrestling. They were like, fuck the other person. We want to see his first win. His last match was versus Fujita. And I thought, let's put him over. Let's put him over right here and let him go away. You know what I mean? But they're not ready yet. I get it. I mean, he needs a lot of work in the ring. But he was excellent in this tournament, and he did as well as we've ever seen a young lion do in a tournament. Because every once in a while, a young lion is in one of these tournaments, and it used to kind of happen more often. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Suji in the G1 before he was. I feel like one of these guys was in the G1 or the New Japan Cup or something like that beforehand, and they just lose every match, but they fucking try so hard, and that's what it's all about.
I like his psychology as well of just drop kick this guy straight away and attack, because as soon as that wrestler takes over, you have lost the match. Like, just go for it, just go nuts. Yeah, no, it's great stuff.
I love him. He's fun.
Yeah, and I guess we got to talk about him. It's they call me Nick Wayne. I'm Nick Wayne at 10 points. Way too many points. Yeah, he was there. He was at the tournament. He lost to almost all the guys I wanted him to lose against, except for Robbie X. And hey, I did find it amusing though that by the end of the tournament, Nick Wayne had what he gave Robbie X, and that's a gigantic shiner on the.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that either, but that was awesome. I was like, yeah, that's right. That's what happens.
It's receipt time, baby.
Karma. Yeah, man, not really impressed with this guy. And I'll tell you why. This is why. I've been to a million indie shows. I've been to a million major promotion shows, and there are a lot of wrestlers that are like this guy. You know what I mean? That are like this, wrestles the junior style, is like kind of a tall dude. There could be a heavyweight, could be a junior, whatever. Has this kind of look about him, and I'm ready for those kind of guys to show me something that makes them different than the other guys that are just like them. And if I didn't know anything about Nick Wayne, like as far as that he's a young guy and he's way younger than he's supposed to be, and he started wrestling when he was 2 or whatever, that's the only thing that sets him apart, right? I hate to say that, but I mean, he's a young wrestler. He just hasn't developed that part of his, character yet, or whatever it is. I don't know what Nick Wayne the character is. Cocky wrestler guy who does the flip and kick stuff.
I think his music should be that Creed song with "Mom's wide open."
Yeah. I made that joke last time. It's like that's what he does every time, and it's like his only taunt is that, and I hate it because it's like a Randy Orton taunt, and bro, you're not Randy Orton. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. I really like Jun Kasai in the tournament. One of my favorite things he would do, he got 10 points, by the way, is that at a certain point in the match, he'd have a guy down and you know he's about to do something gross to him, and he pull out syringes like out of his pocket, right? And you're like, oh no, is he gonna stab Akira in the face with the syringe? No, he's gonna stab himself in the head and then hit somebody with a lariat. That shit was hilarious.
It's like he's pumping himself up like he's Popeye with spinach, like he's giving himself the juice. How's that allowed, Ref? Come on, man.
I like, yeah, you didn't even check him for weapons. He had fucking syringes in his pocket, chumpy. Come on. It's like that I like that spot. That spot was really funny. He only did it a couple times. The Taguchi match was fucking fantastic. Taguchi brought out a little tiny ladder, like a one step, like a footstool, but it's a ladder. And he brought out his own goggles and everything, and he had Jun Kasai down and tried to do the big, splash off the top. The crowd was so into it, and no, he misses. It was awesome. I love that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he was good, and insane because the commentary would mention that in between doing Best of Super Junior shows, he's also doing Freedom Wrestling shows as well.
Right? Yeah. He missed. He had to like double up on something. That like his schedule was different than everybody else's.
And he is 51. Like, take a break, dude. You don't need to prove how tough you are. We believe it. Like, it's fine. We believe you. All right. So now we enter the B block.
The fuck your leg block is what this one was, man.
Yeah.
So much fuck your leg. Loved it.
Apart from maybe Vegeta, most of your submission guys are in this block. So yeah, let's start with El Desperado, who's gone on 12 points. He's not in the finals though because he lost to both Yo and Robbie Eagles, so that kind of that canceled him out. So yeah, what do you say about him, dude? Like, he's always great.
He is always great. The Robbie Eagles match was fantastic. He let's see here. He also got to wrestle Ishimori, and that's always fucking fantastic. So we got to see him versus Kanemaru, and it was like two fuck your leg guys going at each other. But I really, I like this match versus Hio too. You can just list the wrestlers, and if they're not named Sasuke or Sasaki or whatever, I probably liked their match with him,
Maybe Bag as well.
Matt Bag also, yeah.
Kanemaru always got that bit of magic as well because they were thick as thieves for so long. So it's always kind of nice to see them go at it together. It's good stuff. Yeah, and I also like seeing whenever Sho and Despy wrestle because Sho beat Despy for the title via count out.
That's right. Oh man. What a joke that was, jeez. But it ended up with Doki. Doki got the title, so that's all that matters, right?
Absolutely. All right. So, see, we've got a guy whose score kind of breaks my heart a little bit. And I guess that's just the norm now because that's just the way it is. But Kushida, I love Best of Super Junior season because that means I'm guaranteed to see a whole bunch of Kushida singles matches, and I know they're all going to be absolutely fantastic. And just, I believe him as like this serious fucking badass, but just adding to just for some reason, just deciding to go Mick Foley in a lot of these matches just added an element of fun that I absolutely enjoyed as well. So it was good stuff. Like his only wins were against he beat Yo, awesome. He beat Robbie Eagles as well, so okay, and he beat Kanemaru. So the Eagles match was very early on, and it was one of my favorite matches of the whole tournament. I'm not saying there wasn't any better matches or anything like after that, but that match was just art, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah,
I really liked his match versus Sho. That was fucking great, man. I just love Sho was so good. After Sho was eliminated finally, he basically was just rolling around on the ground during the backstage comments, and he kept talking about the other wrestlers, but he couldn't remember all the wrestlers. So he'd be like asking the camera guy, like, "What's the other guy's name?" The guy, he's doing that, and then he'd say, "I don't know, Ishimori." He goes, "Yeah, he has a screw loose," and then he'd gesture with the wrench. He's going to tighten him up, and he's just listening to people. And if he was like running around with chairs wrapped all over him, he wouldn't have looked as crazy, I mean, it was like, or he couldn't have looked crazier. It was a great post-match like freak out. I enjoyed that. Kushida is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He really is. And like, this is one, this was since the old days, when he's wrestling Kyle O'Reilly in the finals, this is the best I've ever seen him. This was, every match had a fucking completely different story. Every match had a different moves, like story move set that it was kind of based around. The show match was so good because they were both kind of doing a little fuck your arm stuff. And Kushida always starts to like get his offense together when he can hit that drop kick to your arm, or that like running kick, like punt, I guess, to your arm. And so he kept trying to get that, and Show would like get out of the way, and Show did it to him at one point. It was like, oh man, that match was awesome. Yeah, Kushida's like one of the best wrestlers ever. He's just the best junior, maybe, other than Hiromu.
I thought that match was magic, Kushida versus Show, because you're right with Kushida telling a totally different story every time. Look, he might have at one point got sick of being in the junior division and want to move up, and they were like, no. All right, so he left, and he come back and got foot and mouth, and he's in the doghouse or whatever. But he has a wrestling brain, and he wants to keep it, at least if they're not going to move him up or do anything with him or whatever, he's going to make it interesting for himself and for the others and for the crowd as well. And I think that, and then when you're up against a guy like Show, who I guess anyone listening you can think what you want about Show, but I think he's one of the most creative heel wrestlers I've ever seen. Like, he mixes it up, he changes things around, he doesn't always cheat the same way, he's got different ways, he's got different combos of ways of doing it all the time, and he gets his comeuppance enough for me to be satisfied. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And yeah, that match with Kushida was magical. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and it was heartbreaking to see him lose to Bag, and I'm just gonna
that match is really good though. I thought that was really good. Bag him up at his end of the deal. But he also had Zane J to help out. Like you said, we'll talk about that. Yo won the tournament. He has 12 points. He beat everybody except Robbie Eagles. Yo, it's just funny. And Kushida. I thought he wrestled well. I don't think we'll talk about the finals match here in a few, but I thought most of his matches were pretty good.
I've never liked it when he started introducing the gimmick of taking other people's moves, and it's not just chaos moves. I'll get more into that when we talk about that match. But when Evil left, I'm wrestling House of Torture, guys. I'm going to do all of Evil's moves. I'm just like, you're House Show, the wrestler. That's what you are to me. You're a wrestler for house shows and for the crowd, not necessarily for the people watching, because that's kind of what a house show wrestler would do to get like pops and attention. I don't like him. I do think he had some good matches, like the creative finish. I know it was very Eddie Guerrero, but it works in the context of that match against Show. I liked it. I'm not going to, turn around and say I didn't like everything he did, because that would be an absolute lie. But I don't get what they see in him, and I don't get what the fans see in him, I guess. For me, he's mid-level tag team title junior. He's the kind of junior that I imagine being a multi-time mega junior tag champ with a variety of different partners, but almost never the junior champion. So that's kind of where I see him. And
Goto of the juniors, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to say more about him when we get towards the end, but I think you liked him more than I did, which I guess isn't
we'll see.
Too hard.
Ishimori got 12 points, and he was great as always. He got beat by Yo, he got beat by Desperado, Eagles, and that is all.
Ishimori and Yo, according to commentary, they didn't say it in these words, but I will. They had the same story. Always the bridesmaid, but never the bride. I'm like, Well, Ishimori's in his mid-40s or something like that. He probably doesn't have like another 20 years of this kind of high-impact junior wrestling and stuff in him. I wish he did because I love him. He's fantastic. I think he had one of the best tournaments. He's fucking awesome. And I never thought this more face kind of role because I didn't see much of his Noah stuff. I'm sure he was probably face at times there. But for me, his Bone Soldier stuff, like his New Japan stuff, is pretty much like the most of his work I've ever seen ever, right? And to me, he's always been the Bone Soldier. He's always been the dastardly, cocky piece of shit heel. And and so I wasn't sure how being an Unbound and being a more facey kind of guy would work, but he fit in with the War Dogs when they were going a bit more facey, and he's fitting in with the. I mean, he's Ishimori. He's a pro. He's going to fit in wherever you put him, isn't he? I thought he had one of the best tournaments, and I thought he should have been in the finals and probably won the whole thing. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing when that wasn't the case. So I think he's one of the best. So I know he's been a multi-time champion of both the titles and stuff like that, and which is pretty good because he wasn't a New Japan original or anything like that. But he's been a pretty good hand for you guys for them for what, a decade now, almost. 2017 maybe 2018, so almost a decade he's been with New Japan in most tours. Anything he pretty much does is gold. No, I know he's got a lot of accolades and stuff, but
yeah, he's gotten plenty. He doesn't.
I know he's not starving for he's over. Look, even not winning this tournament ever, he's still known as being like when Hiromu was around. There's 3 top guys in the junior division, and he's one of them. Yeah, and that's how they treat him. And
he pushed Bushi out. More. So
yeah.
All right, so Robbie Eagles, he had 12 points. He lost to Kushida. That match was fucking great. He lost to Show. That match was great. And he lost to Kanemaru in the Battle of Fuck Your Leg. He got his leg fucked up. That's what happens, man. I thought he had a great tournament, as always. He made it to the semifinals and lost. And, that was heartbreaking for you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think everyone knows that Robbie Eagles is good. I guess I'm just not used to seeing Australian wrestlers at or near the top of something like this. You know what I mean? It's a novelty for me still. I know he's been junior champion and I know he's been tag champion. I love that every single time. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh my God, Robbie's got gold. He deserves it. He's amazing. But he's in the finals, and I'm just like, oh my God. I wouldn't describe myself as very patriotic. I don't have an Australian flag or anything like that, all that kind of stuff. But seeing one of my fellow countrymen that far into a tournament, it comes out. It came out. The Aussie stuff. It came out. So that's it got. So it really hit me. I think he had one of the best tournaments, which is, man, we always heap praise on Mr. Eagles during Best of Super Juniors. He's great absolutely every time. He can do the kind of comedy match kind of stuff with a guy named like Show. He's every much a pro like someone like Kanemaru is. He's believable at losing to or beating everybody, I think. And that's a skill that not every wrestler has, I don't think. And that's maybe like a really good position you want to have. This is the most points I think I've ever seen as well. Show cracks the shits because he beat Robbie Eagles and didn't make the finals. So they must have had to do some deep maths for Robbie to be in there. And I don't care. I love that he was in the finals. It
was the semifinals. So.
It still has finals in it.
I'm just saying, take it easy over there.
I know.
But Bag was also in this tournament, and he wrestled. Yeah. But what about Show? He had 12 points, and he was fucking great, and he was such a shithead. Man, what was that last match that he wrestled where it was a Kurgan Hall where they go chasing somebody through the door? Oh, it was Akira, right? Or not Akira. Excuse me. It was Bag. This match was great. He goes chasing Bag through the fucking door, and Bag's got who's he got with him chasing him out? Babyface Jake Lee with mime face paint on, doing whoa, whoo, ah, ringside for the rest of the match. As a wrestler, if you are ringside, you're supposed to stay in the corners, right? And maybe, in your wrestler's corner, or if you're maybe down front, you can stay, but you want to stay low. He just was doing that weird shit behind the ring, like during the match, just rah, rah. It was so funny. And I just love the crowd because, Show is such an asshole that automatically turned Bag, face. And so it's just so funny to see face Jake Lee and face Zane J. And that was a good time.
So many. I have a great time whether Show wins or loses. I have a great time because some of his finishes, whether the match he lost to Yo, made me fucking laugh because it's kind of cheating that backfired on him. But then he's got Show beating Bag by having Yujiro come out in a luchador
mask, right?
Templario mask, yeah. and throwing in the towel, and the dumb ref is like, okay, yep, ding, ding, ding.
You're part
and then
United
he doesn't
Empire.
take it fully all the way off, but as he's walking out, he lifts it up enough and does the tongue thing that Yujiro does. Like, I mean, if you couldn't tell already, I could kind of tell it was Yujiro. Could you? Like,
well, and
right,
he was
I didn't
leaving
pick
with.
I didn't pick Gable, but I did. No, it was Jiro.
He was leaving with House of Torture too, so it's not like But yeah, that shit was so funny, man. And that was like Yujiro's highlight of this tournament. If he was on the undercard of shows, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
And he's a bump machine, and
Yujiro?
he likes and he loves to tell stories. Now in the undercard, and which will culminate at the last show and stuff, he'll have this ongoing story with Hyo, because House of Torture steal his pet tiger, and Hyo was doing well in the tournament, but as soon as he loses his tiger to the House of Torture, he goes on a losing streak in the tournament.
But he turns dark though. He when he faced Show, it was Hyo dark. He came out in black. His face, he had blood in his mouth, and his eyes were red. That shit was awesome. And then he lost.
Oh, dude, I love Hyo, and there's always at least one guy from another company that comes every year, and I'm like, can we sign this guy?
Yeah,
please. And for me this year it is Hyo. He's a great time. Yeah, no, he's got the look, he's got the athleticism, he's got the character and the charisma as well. He's got all of it.
He's super over, man. The crowd is going nuts for him. But we skipped Kanemaru. Kanemaru was great as usual. He got 6 points.
I feel like we mentioned Kanemaru enough already just by talking about all the other wrestlers. Yeah. Kushida had a great match with Kanemaru. Desperado. The Kanemaru match was great. Robbie Eagles. The Kanemaru match was fucking great. Show. The Kanemaru match was great. Dude, forever a pro. I love him. Let's go to the man himself then. We've just given him some props. It's Hyo. Oh my god, I love this guy. Yeah, like, dude, you go to America right now, they would sign you up. You've got the look, the moves, the everything. He did do great over there, but I'm glad he's in Japan, and I hope we see more of him. He was pretty much the Dragon Dyer of the tournament, right? Like,
it took me a little bit to warm up to Dragon Dyer. With Hyo, it was immediate. Like the first match, you're like, okay, I get it. This guy's awesome. And there's something to be said for a wrestler. Like, I mean, some of the best wrestlers there are guys when they walk in. Maybe you can't explain it exactly, but you get immediately as soon as you see him walking around doing anything, you get the character. This is what this is. And he's one of those guys. So he was instantly over with any crowd, It's awesome.
He's the kind of wrestler where you'd go to a wrestling show and you're like, you know what? I won't buy a wrestling shirt this time. You see Hyo come out, like, I wonder if they got Hyo shirts in backstage or something.
They sell the little kitty cats, I mean,
they must. That'd be stupid if they didn't.
I love House of Torture having like bringing it out in a cage at one point.
Oh my
And
god!
throwing the cage around, beating up the cage.
And I kind of like how the story of him and his kitty cat culminates in the last one, where he's tagging with Desperado against the House of Torture guys, and he gets it back. And
that's right.
that's right. It's fucking great stuff. I loved it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Hyo just on the strength of this, and that's what you want. And Daisuke Sasaki. Bag made more of an impression on me in this tournament than this guy did. Bag.
Yeah, he had like 2 good matches. The Kushida match was really good, and then one of the other ones that I can't remember. Probably Rob Eagles or something. I don't know.
Rob Eagles.
I don't know. This guy, I'm telling you, last time I said, is this one of the best of the Super Juniors? I don't think so. Just saying, I don't know.
When Walker said early on in the tournament, might have been Chris, when one of the English guys says at the start of the tournament that Daisuke Sasaki hasn't been. It's been 14 years since his last Best of the Super Juniors. That stayed in my mind. Because every time I'd watch one of his matches, I'd be like, "Yep, I can see why."
I didn't know he'd ever been in Best of Super Juniors. That's maybe he used to be way better. I mean, I would assume so, but I don't know. I thought he'd be good this time. Maybe he didn't drain his knee.
Yeah,
he didn't go to the training station at the airport.
No, he did.
It was too far from the train station, and he was like, fuck it. There's nowhere to park.
Dude, halfway through the tournament, you and I were wishing he would go to the train station, and it's a different kind of train station.
Luke, we had one of the semi-final nights was at this place called G Messi Gunma, and it's in Gunma, and I perused the internet to see if there was anyone had been to this place and maybe what they thought of their trip to this place. And man, people had a lot of thoughts, and they had long thoughts, and we're going to read them.
That's right. Everyone wants to hear long thoughts. That's what podcasts are, aren't they? Long thoughts. Kinda. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Lion face. Lemon face. On Saturday, October 23rd, I went to Gunma for the first time from Osaka to see Tomoyasu Hatei's concert. The venue was huge, and it felt so far away. The concert was great, but the venue staff were inefficient, which may be understandable since they were all part-timers. Half the staff looked bored, so they should have been checking tickets and answering questions from the audience, but they were just spacing out. Even when I tried to say, "Excuse me," they kept telling me to ask over there. And I was passed around.
God.
I arrived 30 minutes early, but finally got in 3 minutes before the show started. The management staff were so incompetent that my mood was plummeting. It was a concert with over 10,000 people, so I was pissed. Should have done their job properly. 1 star.
He's really mad, but kind of eloquent. I got every bit of that. You know what I mean? I'm a little confused about the being passed around part. That's a little strange.
Can I just say something? Like, right, I don't care if you're going to a concert or a sporting event or anything like that. 30 minutes before the show, you get there. What are you, fucking crazy?
Yeah,
an hour minimum.
And I'm also I'm picturing these poor people that work there like somebody at a press conference where everyone's just shouting at them, and they're like, "Oh, I'll answer your question," but instead they're just going. Because they're spacing out.
Part-timers, and how does that matter? Like,
it's
a fucking venue. Maybe they don't have full-time staff because they don't have events on there every day. So it's a part-time job. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, he doesn't like Takeshita. We know that. So
and it wasn't just the people that worked there, because there were too many people.
Mm-hmm.
He was also
he was pissed.
Pissed. Yeah, that's the. It's my. Yes,
there was like anger emojis after that. I don't know what those emojis mean. They look like some kind of symbol in the red.
Like steam's going to come out of his ears or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it. or he's farting. What about you, man? Do you have a Google review?
I do. It goes thus. I caught a cold because the air conditioning was so poorly maintained. It was so cold. It's like making a Buddha statue without putting a soul in it. They need to urgently review the maintenance. It's sad to think that it's been neglected for so many years. Jizz emoji. It's only natural that it should be cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Standing in line to get food in the cold wind is the height of stupidity. Yamamoto-san. Parents and children come from all over the country. As a resident of the prefecture, I'm ashamed. It's truly unfortunate. Please make improvements as soon as possible, putting hospitality first. I can only pray that all those involved with the Shaiki players are safe. 1 star.
These were both absolute fucking bangers of Google complaints. Just arriving at the event and thinking to yourself, I hate this place. Look at the soulless Buddha. Oh my god, that is fucking gold. That's gonna come back on this show for sure. Like
he was like
the skeletons and the willful females or something like that. Like the soulless Buddha.
Wait till we describe Yo later. But I like that there's a couple things in here that I find amusing. One is that he's kind of like Yamamoto-san, I'm assuming is someone in charge, like the mayor or something, maybe, you know, and he's like praying to them, begging, please do something because it was too cold. And so I don't understand why is it why it's too cold. Like put a jacket on, bitch. But also, then he kind of prays at the end that the people he went to see there at the venue, that they're safe. Because, I mean, if he got cold, who knows what happened to them? You know what I mean? They could be dead in a ditch somewhere.
Dude, you're right. Like, what does he do if he wants to go to a baseball game? Like, it's an outdoor arena, right? Like, is he going to complain that he had to wear shorts and flip-flops because it was so fucking hot? Like, or is he going to complain that he had to wear like 2 jackets or something? Like, what the fuck? Dress accordingly to the weather that you're going to a venue for. Like, oh my god, this guy.
Every time I go to the movie theater, I know it's going to be cold in there, and I take a jacket. And it's not just to sneak in a water and a bunch of candy. It's because I might get cold as well. So.
Yeah, no, it's see, most movies I see now, I'm hey Charity, have you got your handbag on? Yep, cool.
Well,
yeah, put these in your bag
up. In America, if you're a dude and you carry a bag into they'll probably think it's a bomb or a gun or something. So
okay.
You might get arrested. But Luke, at the G Messy place we talked about, there was the Best of Super Juniors semifinals, which we mentioned a little bit. We had Robbie Eagles facing Fujita, not Kuchita, but Fujita in a fucking fantastic match that was packed full of emotions, for the better or for worse. In your case, I thought the emotions were high in this match, and Fujita beating him was like this, like
the best match in the finals.
Yeah, it was awesome.
This one.
It was awesome.
Look, as I said, my patriotism levels are normally very low, but seeing Robbie Eagles make the finals, it was high. It was high. It spiked, you know. So I was just all in, even though I had I want him to, but I just don't think they'll ever push him enough to have him win the Best of Super Juniors, because he's not there full time. You know, he's not there year in, year out. He's touring other places, training people.
Fucking part timer. He's like Buddha with no soul. I don't agree with that statement.
No, if there's a wrestler that I describe that, we'll talk about it when we get to the final. This was my favorite final match. I think it was the one I felt the most emotions for. I was glad that we watched this live together, so you kind of tempered me, going like, dude, Robbie did his job, and you know his job is to job for Fujita. And as soon as you wrote that, I'm like, Yeah, I know. I don't need to hear that right now, motherfucker.
Maybe you did,
Maybe I did. Yeah, you're right.
Because
I thought it was.
you were already throwing the next match in the garbage before it happened, which maybe you should have, honestly. Maybe you were right. So
look, and doubly looking back, like it doesn't hurt as much to see Vegeta lose to Yo. It would have hurt me more if Robbie Eagles had lost to Yo.
Oh
so,
man, that would have been terrible. Yeah. Luke, Yo and Master Huato also wrestled, and this match was not very good. And it wasn't bad. That wasn't wrestled poorly, but the story of the match was that Master Huato isn't as good at doing Tenzon's moves as Yo is. That is the story of the match. I've known Tenzon longer. I've been a nerd longer than you have, and I've been stealing moves before you were even born, bitch. And that's what
you only steal one wrestler's move, bitch.
Yeah.
In fact, you even asked permission. It was given to you.
I
fucking steal them.
He's like, you're fucking Mark. You asked permission? What a bitch.
Yeah.
That was the story of the match, and that's not a good story.
No,
Didn't like it.
I liked half this match, and that half was when Wato was doing stuff because
look good.
Now I understand there's going to be a crossover with moves because you can't just take a drop kick and be like, that's my move. You can't do drop kicks. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be crossovers with moves and things. That's fine. And there's other wrestlers who do copycat stuff like Jeff Cobb, but Jeff Cobb does it in a way of like, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything.
He's a big guy. He's
fucking huge, and he can do that, right? That's what makes it work. And you know he's trolling. He's not doing it to be like,
he's a fucking heel too.
He's fucking trolling. And losing and look, here's me gonna do a rant that you've heard before. I'm not gonna go bonkers, relax. But as soon as Yo won this, I was like, oh, they're doing the same final as last year. Oh no. Way to telegraph to me that Yo is winning. Thank you. Like, all right, I did say, what are we going to do? Rip the Band-Aid off and have Yo win? Okay, yes, we did do that. Why the same final? Why not have it against two people where, all right, it's probably going to be Yo, but you never know. It might be the other guy. A bit of suspense or like, I've criticized better finals than the one we got for doing the same thing, where the matches, even though the matches have turned out to be matches I'll begrudgingly say, all right, that was pretty good, even though I knew who was going to win. I still had that criticism, right? But now I know Yo's going to win, and I'm like, well, you know what annoys me even more? Wato wins the Best of Super Juniors, fails to win the title. He's dead in the water, and he has been for a couple of years now. Vegeta, he's got more of an it factor. He just does. So this is not going to hurt him, and he's only 23. Like, it's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine, and he's not in a faction full of fucking nerds. So that's going to be to his benefit in the long run, right? So it's. Especially when just looking at the B block and A block, just wrestlers that I not only like more because it's just my bias, but also like them more for their interestingness and creativity. And look, Vegeta won the Best of Super Juniors last year, and he didn't win the title either. And I'm going to be so fucking annoyed that not only does Yo win the Best of Super Juniors, but if he goes on to also beat my fucking favorite wrestler, that's like a double, like, jam it up your ass, Luke. And I know it's fine. There's lots of other stuff I love in New Japan. It's
you
fine.
mean Doki is what you're saying?
Yeah, I love Doki. I don't care if he's a face or a heel or anything like that. I love him, and I don't mind.
If Yo faces Doki, he's probably going to win, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while now, I'm ready for Doki to get his comeuppance. I'm ready for it. The time was at the anniversary show. Make Wato the Grandmaster and the champion, but they don't usually like having face champions in your tournaments. They like a heel champion for the tournament. That's probably why Ishimori's rarely won the fucking Best of Super Juniors. He's usually the champion
that's true
in the tournament. So there is that. So let's talk about it. It is, I mean, stuff happens on the last night. By the way, Mr. ELP comes back, which is pretty cool. Hyo gets his kitty cat back. There's fun stuff, and it's good to see all the heavies intermingling with the juniors again. That's one of my favorite things about the last night.
Is here, you know,
the
we get to see the
here.
champion, and him and Tsuji are fucking cutting it up, and it's awesome. I've
decided I don't care who wins that match. I've decided I win that match.
Well, Tsuji, I think it's Tsuji's going to win,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes the most sense, but maybe not. We'll see what happens, you know?
But they've made Callum now, and that's what's important, and it's worked.
And maybe they don't want the title involved in whatever happens at Forbidden Door or whatever, right? So, because Dominion is understandable. I don't know. I can't. I think Dominion's first. I can't.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so, Luke, let me tell you just some quick thoughts about the main event real quick. It was not good. The match was not good. I didn't like it at all. The constant move stealing was just out of control in this match to the point where it's not that Fujita didn't get to do his shit. It's just that this wasn't about him at all. You know what I mean? And it was obvious it wasn't about him at all. In fact, after the match, he kind of no-sold the finish and just kind of walked to the back a little bit. And I was like, good for you. Fuck that guy. Which I would normally get mad about. But, you know, he was kind of like pointing at Yo, like putting him over, like, because they kind of had a moment after the match. I don't like it when, and this is kind of broad thoughts on this whole thing. I don't like it when the nerds wrestle House of Torture as much as I like it when anyone else wrestles House of Torture.
Agreed.
So, you know, that's one of the problems with this is that now we're going to get nerds vengeance on House of Torture. And it's like, shouldn't it be like Unbound? I know they're feuding with...
It's the wrong nerd.
United Empire. Yeah, I don't know. You think it should be Watto, right? And that makes a lot of sense because they have a storyline. You know, it could have been Robbie Eagles too, right? You know, there's a couple people that have, you know, that. But God damn, I wish they were like, I wish it was House of Torture versus TMDK. That's way better, right? And but that's not the story. That's not what we're going with. I think Yo's performance in this last match. Here's the problem here. The man shows zero like sense of urgency. He has no sense of urgency about anything. He doesn't even look excited that it's happening. And like, shouldn't he be excited looking? Can he just like act that way? There's a football player in America named Peyton Manning. He's very famous. And man, he was
I've heard of him. That's how famous he is.
Oh, yeah. He's really good at throwing the football. And like the dude could not win the big one. You know, it was always circumstances, but he would like either play poorly. Well, most of the time he played great, but he was just never win the big one. When he finally did, I remember they like handed him the trophy after it, and it was like he was getting a soda that he just paid for. Like, yeah, that's mine. Yes, give me that kind of thing. And it just didn't. It really stuck in my craw, and I never liked him since. I like his brother much better, but I just was like, that's what this felt like to me. It felt like, yeah, give me that. That's mine now, you know. And I should have had this a long time ago. Why am I just now getting this now? That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. Well, why are you only getting this now? I don't know. Maybe it's because you fucking sucked for years, and I still think you suck. I've been consistent, but I've also given him props when I felt like he deserved it. I've always liked him more when he's doing his own matches with his own moveset. They're my favorite Yo matches, when he's doing his own shit. I don't need to see him do Darkness Falls, Everything is Evil, the Darkness Scorpion. I don't need to see him do everything, every single move that Evil did. And this match it's not even the moves that he does. He's also bumping and rope breaking like all the other wrestlers as well. Like the biting the rope spot to break the hold. That's Ishii.
Yeah.
Like there's no originality there. The only move that he does that is his move is Moxley's finisher. Like fuck off.
I think he did it before him, but
Like I've said a few years ago, yo, you could be anyone or anything. You know what you can't be? Everyone and everything. This to me is like, he's a house show guy. Like, this is house show shit. Just doing a greatest hits of all of your compadres and stuff like that. And why is he doing Nakamura? He wasn't even in the nerd group when Nakamura was there. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't think he was, right? That was weird. The Yano stuff was fun because Yano was there, but like Nakamura doesn't make any sense. And then winning the match with that shit? What?
Yeah. I thought it was terrible. Now, if he had have put that stuff to a minimum and actually wrestled as Yo, I still wouldn't have liked it as much. I still probably would have shit on it to some degree because I just don't like Yo. It's just going to happen. Look, Goto could put on 10 5-star matches and win the tournament, and you will still find a way to be like, oh, fuck Goto. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. It's just like, I just don't like him. I don't think I'll ever fully support this dude. But this was lazy. This gimmick is lazy. This is Mick Foley levels of lazy. But when Mick Foley does it, he just does it with, hey, I'm back in, New Jersey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows he's being cheeky and just going for the easy cheers. He knows he's doing that. And that's why that works for me. But at the same time, he's just doing it with his promos. He's not doing it in the ring with his moves. New Japan tells its stories in the ring, and his story to me is, I'm a cover artist, but my covers sound exactly the same as the originals, but worse. And it's even more annoying because he beats someone that I like more. Well, unless he's wrestling Bag in the finals, he's always going to be wrestling someone I like more, I guess so.
Yeah.
And it's one of the rare times that even though I have a podcast and I should be watching the show till it finishes, as soon as I saw the 3, I turned the telly off and went on with my life.
Well, Luke, your observation about the everything and everything is fantastic. And that was what we've been building to this whole episode. So thank you for delivering that. I have to deliver you some bad news about what happened after the match because it was not good. I was standing there and I'm watching it because I was watching it in the morning on my phone. I'm like shaving, like getting ready for work. And I'm like, all right, so come kick his ass, Doki. Where's Doki? Why isn't Doki beating the fuck out of him? And then Doki comes out with Sho and Yo jobs them both out. He just double low blows them. He dodges, double low blows them and hits them both with the black mirror. And the crowd's like, oh, we love you, Yo. Oh, you scamp. And I hated that. Fucking hated that too. Because like, why? Why wouldn't you just like let Doki come back and beat the fuck out of Yo? That would make a lot more sense. And then you want to see Yo win a lot more, right? But no, they like already. I mean, maybe that means Doki's winning. Maybe Yo's going to get over on Doki all the way up and then lose. That'd be cool. But I don't know.
Our conversations were interesting, and you've already said some of it. It was the conversation of, all right, the finals have been set, and that'll be right, Luke. It's finals time. You've got to shit on the tournament now.
Yeah, every time.
Mm-hmm. All right, and okay, that does happen, but there was less pushback. but there was less pushback from you this year, and you pretty much said it at the start how you felt about it. Now, when Vegeta won, I'm like, oh my god, Vegeta Despy for the title. I'm so excited. When Wado won, Wado Hiromu for the title. I'm so excited. Even though I feel like the wrong guy won both those matches. Because say Despy and Hiromu do not need that belt. Like they don't need it. Whereas those two probably needed a title run by now. Just kind of, well, I guess one of them's younger and he'll be fine, and cooler, so he'll be fine with Vegeta. But you know what I mean. I'm not excited for Doki versus Yo. I'm not at all excited, and I will go on a record and just like, yes, I know I can be a bit like this at the end of the tournaments. Okay, fine, all right, but this is the stankiest ending to a tournament I've seen since I started watching tournaments and covering them. This was my least favorite ending of any tournament I've covered with you, Mr. Andy. And and I, at the end of a tournament, I should, whether I like the finish or not, I should at least be excited for that guy to face the top guy of the company, and I was not. Am I excited for Dominion? Yeah. But there's one match I'm
Yeah, semi-main, the whole Dominion card is out. Sonata's going to be back, Takeshita's back. ELP is going to wrestle Jake Lee in a no DQ match, and I am very interested in that. You get Taichi and Yuyamura versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Riho Aiwa. I like that too. Wasn't there like a World Tag League like thing that happened, sort of, at least I called it that happened recently? Somebody came back and I was like, World Tag League, here we go. I can't
ALP with Shota Umino.
Oh yeah,
pink pants.
Yeah, that should be a thing. I like that, but where's Shota Umino on this card? I don't even see him. Wow. Aaron Wolf, Eddie Munster is going to wrestle Eddie Munster Jr., which is Ren Narita. And the match probably that I think I'm looking forward to the most, other than the main event, would be, well, there's 3 matches that I'm looking forward to the most. The tag match, Oscar and Yuto Ice versus Great Khan and Hanare.
Yep.
Yes. It was good to see Oscar and Yuto Ice back. Yuto Ice was when he was fighting the champion in that match, right? Yeah. So and I was watching that and I'm like, they better be in the same fucking block in the G1, like for real. And then here's Shota Umino. I forgot, here he is. He's in this 3-way. He's way high up on the card. I forgot, with Gorilla, El Idolo, and Shota Umino. And then we got Yoda Stoki. And then the main event is Yota Tsuji versus Newman in his second defense. Like you said, time to lose it maybe, or maybe like, I wouldn't be mad. They never do no finishes, right? They never do that. It's very rare, but I wouldn't be mad in this case if they did like some kind of fuck finish where we don't get a finish. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it's very rare, and you want to set the United Empire up for being. You've got your dastardly heels with House of Torture. There's still a power vacuum, or a vacuum of our cool heels. No longer a faction, there's no more Bullet Club. So Empire should fit that slot, and having an ending like that will further kind of do that for them. The only match that confuses me on this card, apart from the junior title match, I guess, is why is Desperado wrestling Mystico? Aren't they fucking tag champs together?
Yeah, I don't know why, but they're gonna. And
rather than have a tag team title match, like
Mystico is a big star. He's like the biggest star in Mexico who isn't named El Grande Americano, but he's kind of a bigger star than them. And so this is a money match right here. It's like you want to see these two guys go, and it's kind of like when Desperado likes wrestling his friends, right? That's kind of what this is, I think. Yeah,
I guess so. And I guess I'm looking for clarification. Like, Sonata, are you a nerd now? Are you in House of Torture still? Like, what's going on here?
Torture? What do you mean?
Well, he hasn't really been involved with them or anything like that. The problem is, when you've got a feud with Konosuke Takeshita, you've also got very little to no screen time, because Konosuke Takeshita is never there. But no, let's keep the fucking title on this guy at all times.
Maybe he'll lose it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I hope so. Is he a great wrestler? Sure. Pick a company, dude. Oh, I get to work with 3 companies. Yeah, great. Pick one.
I don't know why you care.
I can't get invested in a guy who's just keeps bouncing around, I guess. It's like, it's hard for me to be.
I mean, there's lots of Mystico, pick a company. You know, pick a country to wrestle in.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
come on. It's like
he's not partially signed to New Japan, is he? He's just like coming down for some shows and doing some stuff.
Okay, if Takeshita's money is taking away from like signing guys like Naito, then yeah, that's dumb. You know what I mean? I get it, but like, you know, I don't know. This is where we're at. So Sonata should win. I think Jake Lee should be ALP too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would. Look, if you're not going to put Jake Lee in a heavyweight title picture at the moment, have Takeshita win, and then have Jake Lee challenge him, and just a couple of knees. I don't know. Yeah, the TV title might be good for a big, tall guy who has a couple of devastating killer moves, like and who's weird and unpredictable. Because maybe you don't know what he's going to come out with, and boom, you've just lost in 10 minutes. Like, see, like that's what you need.
Voila.
None of this fucking 15-minute draw business. Like, if that's what you're going to do most of your finishes, then you're giving that belt to the wrong people. It should be put it on. Like, that's why Zack Sabre Jr. was the perfect first champion, right?
All right.
Because he can make you tap out at any time. But yes, Yo sucks.
That's true.
I'm crying.